You woke up today and forgot the name of someone you've known for years. Or maybe you walked into a room and simply couldn't remember what you went there to do. Perhaps you lost your keys again for the third time this week. Does this sound familiar? What if I told you that the problem isn't your age, but what you do or fail to do in the first 15 minutes after you open your eyes? Pay close attention, because what I'm about to reveal can completely change the way your brain functions for the rest of the day. I'm Dr. Sophie Miller, and I need to tell you a truth that few people have the courage to share. If you're over 60 years old and you've noticed that your memory isn't what it used to be, that mental clarity seems to slip away first thing in the morning, that waking up has become synonymous with exhaustion and confusion, you need to hear this until the very end. Most people make a silent mistake every single morning, a mistake that steals brain energy, impairs concentration, and accelerates cognitive aging in an alarming way. And the worst part is that many do this thinking they're being productive, thinking they're making good use of their time. I'm talking about grabbing your phone as soon as you wake up. It seems harmless, doesn't it? Everyone does it. It's become an automatic gesture. But science shows something very concerning about this seemingly innocent habit. When you grab your phone right after waking up, you interrupt your brain's natural transition between the sleep state and the waking state. Your brain needs time to make this passage in a healthy way, to reorganize itself, to prepare for the day ahead. But when you immediately start scrolling through news, answering messages, watching videos, you force an excessive release of dopamine. And this creates a compulsion to check your device throughout the entire day, progressively increasing anxiety and stress. Your brain, which should be waking up calmly, enters maximum alert mode from the very first second. And this has serious consequences that go far beyond that moment. Scientific research shows that switching attention between different devices, from the phone to the television, from the computer to the smartphone, reduces gray matter in brain regions linked to decision-making and memory. It's as if you started the day already exhausted, already overloaded before even doing anything. And then you wonder why you can't remember anything, why you feel so confused, why it seems like your mind is always cloudy. The answer may lie precisely in those first minutes of your day that you don't even realize you're wasting. Let me tell you the story of Helen, a 68-year-old retiree who lives in Chicago. Helen was always an active and intelligent woman. She worked as a teacher for 35 years, loved reading thick books, doing challenging crossword puzzles, and chatting animatedly with her friends in the neighborhood walking group. But in recent months, something began to change in a worrying way. She started forgetting important appointments. Names of former students that she used to remember easily simply vanished from her memory. And worst of all, she would wake up tired, even after sleeping well, even after spending 8 hours in bed. Her husband Anthony noticed something curious while observing his wife's routine. Every morning, before even getting out of bed, Helen spent 20 minutes on her phone, scrolling through news, responding to family group messages, looking at photos on social media. She thought she was staying informed, that she was being productive, that she was making good use of that little bit of time before getting up. In reality, she was sabotaging her own brain without realizing. When Helen decided to change this routine, when she understood what she was doing wrong, the results came much faster than she had imagined. And it was a transformation that completely changed her life. You must be wondering what Helen did differently, right? First, she adopted a simple habit that many people completely ignore: drinking a glass of water as soon as she wakes up. It seems too basic, too obvious, but let me explain the science behind this. The human brain is composed of approximately 80% water. It's an organ extremely dependent on adequate hydration to function properly. Even mild dehydration, which you don't even notice, can cause lack of focus, irritability, anxiety, memory loss, and even temporary reduction in brain volume. During the night, you go 6, 7, 8 hours without ingesting any liquid. Your body keeps functioning, keeps consuming water for its vital processing, and when you wake up, you're naturally dehydrated. That's why morning hydration is so important, so fundamental for your brain's health. Helen started leaving a bottle of water on her nightstand every night, every day before anything else, before thinking about her phone, before thinking about any worries. She drank at least 1 full glass of fresh water. Sometimes she added a few drops of lemon for flavor and to get a boost of vitamin C that helps with nutrient absorption. A simple gesture that takes less than a minute, but that makes an enormous difference in how the brain starts to function. Do you already do this? Have you ever thought about how something so simple might be missing from your routine? The second step Helen adopted was moving her body for just 1 minute right after waking up. It seems like very little, doesn't it? It seems like it won't make any difference at all. But scientific studies show that even 60 seconds of physical activity offer benefits that accumulate with daily practice. I'm not talking about running a marathon. I'm not talking about going to the gym at 6 in the morning. I'm talking about simple movements like gentle stretches, light jumping jacks, some morning yoga poses, anything that makes your blood circulate better. These movements significantly increase blood flow to the brain, and research associates physical exercise, even when brief, with an increase in BDNF, which is the brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This factor improves cognition, strengthens neural connection, and reduces symptoms of depression and anxiety. Helen started with light stretches in bed itself, without even needing to get up at first. She stretched her arms upward, rotated her ankles in circles, made gentle circular movements with her neck to release the tension accumulated during sleep. Within a few days, she noticed she was waking up with much more energy, that the feeling of heaviness and tiredness was diminishing, that her body seemed more awake and prepared for the day. Can you imagine the results you could have with this simple change? Can you imagine what it would be like to wake up feeling that your body is alive and ready for any challenge? The third habit Helen adopted was perhaps the most transformative of all, and also the most surprising: practicing gratitude right after waking up. I know it may seem like something abstract, something that has nothing to do with brain health, but let me show you what science has discovered about this. Research published in the scientific journal Frontiers in Psychology linked the practice of gratitude with activation of the anterior cingulate cortex and the medial prefrontal cortex. These are brain regions associated with judgment, decision-making, and emotional regulation. Another study showed that gratitude improves mental well-being in people with symptoms of depression and anxiety more effectively than many other practices, including self-compassion. Helen adopted a simple and powerful ritual. Every morning before getting out of bed, she thought of 3 things she was grateful for at that moment. It could be her grandson's health as he was growing strong, the hot coffee waiting in the kitchen, the sun coming through the window, or simply the fact that she had woken up to live another day. It seems trivial, it even seems naive, but this exercise reconnected Helen with positive emotions right at the start of the day, and this shaped everything else in the hours that followed. A brain that starts the day focused on good things functions completely differently from a brain that starts the day absorbing bad news and other people's worries. In just 1 week, Helen noticed changes that surprised her. The mental fog that accompanied her in the mornings began to dissipate little by little. She went back to remembering appointments without needing constant reminders on her phone. She went back to remembering people's names more easily. And most importantly, she felt she was in control of her own mind again. She felt she was the owner of her thoughts. She felt she could trust herself. As the world's most respected neuroscientists explain, memory lapses can be embarrassing and worrying, but it's never too late to improve the ability to remember. The human brain continues to develop neurons and create new connections to strengthen memory as we age. This is called neuroplasticity, and it's one of the most hopeful discoveries in modern neuroscience. Your brain is not condemned to weaken. It's not destined to abandon you. It just needs the right stimuli at the right time, in the right way. And you can start providing those stimuli starting tomorrow. So what can you do starting tomorrow to transform your mornings and protect your memory? First, keep your phone away from the bed. Put it in another room if necessary, but don't touch it for the first 15 minutes of the day. Let your brain wake up naturally, without that avalanche of information and artificial stimuli. Second, drink water immediately upon waking. Leave a bottle or a glass prepared the night before. Your brain needs that hydration to function well, and you'll feel the difference quickly. Third, move for at least 1 minute. You don't need a gym, you don't need equipment, you don't need special clothes. Just wake up your body with simple movements, stretch your muscles, get your blood flowing. Fourth, think of 3 things you're grateful for at that moment. Reconnect your brain with positive emotions before facing any challenge of the day. These 4 steps take less than 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes that can transform the next 16 hours of your day. And over time, with consistent practice, they can transform the next years of your life. Simple and intentional morning habits, when practiced regularly, transform into powerful practices that improve health and quality of life in impressive ways. The emotions you feel early in the morning influence your mood, your energy, and your mental clarity throughout the entire rest of the day. You deserve to wake up with clarity. You deserve to remember the names of the people you love, the important appointments, the small joys that make life worth living. You deserve to feel that your mind is sharp, present, working in your favor. And the difference between a morning that steals your memory and a morning that protects and strengthens your brain can be found in just 5 minutes of conscious choices. I'm Dr. Sophie Miller, and I invite you to try these changes starting tomorrow. Do a test for 1 week and observe how you feel. Notice if the mental fog decreases, if your memory improves, if your energy increases, and then come back here to tell me in the comments what changed in your life. I really want to hear about your experience. I want to know if these tips worked for you like they worked for Helen and for so many other people. If this video made sense to you, if you felt that this information could help other people you know, share it with whoever needs to hear this. Share it with your friends, with your family members, with that person you know is struggling with memory problems and doesn't know what to do. And if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, subscribe now and turn on the notification bell to receive alerts for the next videos. I post new content every week about health, wellness, and how to take care of your body and mind naturally and effectively. Stay with me on this journey, because taking care of your brain is taking care of your independence, your history, your dignity, and everything you still want to experience. You have so much ahead of you, so many memories to create, so many moments to enjoy. And I'm here to help you live all of that with a clear mind and a sharp memory. See you in the next video.